Stephanie here, Ms. Oh So Crafty. Welcome back, or hello if you're new. Today is Friday the 13th, October. Yay, Friday the 13th. I feel like it's the start of the Halloween season, and I think what I'll do today is get out some of my Halloween decor, which I did share with you, I think, last year. Maybe I will right across the top of the screen which video if you want to go back and watch it. Okay, so it's been around 2.5 weeks since my last confession video. Kind of a lot has happened since then. I had my Flosstube retreat in Austin, trip to Texas. That was awesome. Came home, got sick. Nothing communicable, don't worry. It was just a TMJ flare up, but it was pretty bad. and But I'm doing better now. So you want to hear a little bit about Austin? Sorry, I don't have any I didn't do any vlogging or video or whatever at the event, but other people did. So check out, Stitching May, Every Stitch Counts, McKenna, Kate the Stash Queen, Garrett Coffee Stitcher. I think all of those people have videos up, but. What I did is I flew down to Texas a day early and visited with my friend Barb, and that was awesome. We stitched with her guild, and she took me shopping at a place called Creative Stitches. I guess that's in Dallas, and it was an amazing selection of fibers there. Really cool. They had some cross stitch. It was a lot of needlepoint stuff, but the fiber selection, I've never seen so many fibers. There was stuff there I'd never even heard of, which was pretty cool. And I was able to find not one, but two possible picks for my I Am a Stitcher piece. I was looking for that perfect elusive apple green, and I found something that worked. I'll show it to you in a little while. And what else did we do? She and her hubby took me out for an amazing Mexican meal. This is the DC Metro. There's some good Mexican food around here, but yeah, Mexican food in Texas is a little something different, and it's awesome. We have this good taco place that I love that's pretty authentic, but as terms of a more formal Mexican restaurant, yeah, I think I need to do a bit more exploring in the area. Let's see. So the next day, I had rented a car and I drove down to Austin. I took the scenic route. I went on country roads, and don't get me wrong, they were highways and people drive fast. You could hit 90, 100 easy on these long, straight roads. I tried not to speed too much because I didn't want to get pulled over, but when the speed limit's 75, what are you supposed to do? And it was just amazing, big blue sky all around. There's nothing like that on the East Coast. There's too many trees and hills and stuff, and you just don't see a horizon like that. So anyway, I drove to Claiborne. That was my first stop. I got there at 10 a.m. just as Fancy Stitches opened. That was cool. So I went in there, and that place is awesome. So much stuff, just tons and tons of selection, lots of new things. She's got fabric, she's got charts, she's got fibers and beads, and an amazing clearance section, like a whole closet full of stuff that was half price, and I did get some gems. And what else? Tons of models. She's got lots of really good, really amazing Christmas stockings and ornaments, and she was just so sweet, and her cute little dog was running around. That was really fun to stop there. I spent way longer than I had intended, and then I continued on. I went to Glen Rose, Texas, and I visited the Dinosaur Valley State Park. Maybe I'll insert a pic. I saw dinosaur prints. I dipped my toes in the most pristine, beautiful, clear river. Oh my gosh, it was so beautiful there. I could have spent the day. But I got back in the car, kept on going on, and I went to, I stopped for lunch in Hiko at this little deli place called Ice, I guess it was, EIS, and that was cool. And I walked around a little bit, and I visited a popcorn factory where they had all these different types of popcorn, both sweet and savory, and they had samples. And they had fudge too. So I got some treats. for the road, and then I continued on, drove through Hamilton and Lampasas, and eventually to Austin. So made it to Austin about 4 p.m. and checked in and went down to Stitch, met my roomie, met some other people. The retreat was just awesome. Everybody was like instant friends because we all kind of like know each other from our videos, and everybody was just like you would expect from watching their channels. That was really cool. There was like an instant connection, and I had an amazing time. It was really fun. Did some stitching, some chatting, some shopping, you know. Actually, I didn't really shop a whole lot at the retreat because between the two stores I had visited, the Creative Stitches in Dallas and Fancy Stitches in Claiborne, I had kind of spent like $110. Before the trip, my hubby gave me some money and he was like, this is for your trip. And I was like, can I add this to my budget, you know, for Stitch from Stash? And he was like, shrug, whatever. But I felt like that would be kind of cheating, you know, so I decided I would just like take the shopping money out of my regular Stitch from Stash budget. And now I'm in the negative, but I'll get back up there, don't worry. So who was at the retreat? Well, I'll tell you who was sitting at my table. There was, my roommate was Karen. She doesn't have a Flosstube channel, but she should. Hi, Karen. And Trisha, the left-handed stitcher, was there. Angela, Gibbs Girl, I think her channel is. She's a relatively new Flosstuber. She lives in Texas and somewhat local to the retreat. Let's see, who else was at my table? Emily C., Eclectic Possessions, with her awesome tattoo on her upper back. Death Moth, very cool. Olivia B., she was there. So much fun. Who else? How can I forget Lori, Organic Granny? She's awesome. I had so much fun with my table mates, and I apologize if I'm forgetting anybody. I don't think I am, but, you know, brain fail, whatever. If I have forgotten you, I'm really sorry. So, oh yeah, Megan, of course, Stitching May. And then what else? Well, we had some good meals at the retreat. The first night we went out for barbecue. The second night we went out for Tex-Mex to Trudy's, and we took Leia with us. She's in my Stitch from Stash group. Hi, Leah. Who else? What else we do? Just stitch and chat, and you know, I left pretty early on Sunday. Kind of had a bit of a snafu getting home. Just like I don't really feel like getting into it, but I got home a lot later than I had intended to, and basically hit the sack. Monday I wasn't feeling so great. Spent most of the day in bed, and then I came down with the whole like TMJ thing. It started with a headache, and then I realized it was TMJ when swallowing and moving my jaw caused the headache to get worse. And I've had it before, but different symptoms, you know. I've never had like a really bad headache that lasted more than a day. So it lasted around 36 hours altogether, and that was not much fun. I have a lot of sympathy now for people who live with like chronic migraines and stuff. Yeah. But I'm better now. Started to feel better like Thursday night, so that was good. And I didn't really do a whole lot of stitching while I was feeling poorly. I did some knitting, so I'll show you that. But enough chit chat. I can't believe it. We're 9 minutes into this, and I guess it's high time I show you some stitching. So when I last made a video, I was just starting a new project. This is Trick or Treat Farrah by Nora Corbett. I will insert a photo. I'm stitching this on Midas Touch Opalescent Belfast from Vintage Silk Weaver. Isn't that pretty? See the sparkle? It's kind of like a highly variegated fabric. I thought it'd be fun for this girl. So I started in the middle with her skirt. You can kind of see what will eventually read Trick or Treat. You can see the or, the CK, and the TR. So this is a lot of fun to work on. Not too many colors. I do want to work on it more this month, but it kind of depends on my rotation goals and stuff because, well, it's the 13th and I have yet to really start my rotation for the month. So, yeah. But this is a lot of fun, and if I don't get to work on it more this month, I'll certainly try to finish her up next year. I gave her like, I don't know, 4 or 5 days or something. And then at the retreat, the first thing I worked on is this. I actually worked on Remember before the retreat, wasn't quite able to finish it that week before the retreat, but Monday through Wednesday was very busy with the chores and the cooking and all that. So anyway, I managed to finish at the retreat. This is Remember by the National Trust. It's stitched on 28 count Monaco, coffee dyed by me. It says, remember that nothing can be done well without order, promptitude, and perseverance, and that anything worth doing is worth doing well. And it's a reproduction from one of the houses that's under the care of the National Trust of England. And the flowers and everything are from the house's china pattern and their drapery and all that. So I don't have the pattern anymore. I gave it to Karen at the retreat. So I stitched this as a gift from my hubby. The sentiments are something that well, it's him, I guess we could say. It's him to a T. He always says the P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Fill in the blank, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to frame this and hopefully he'll like hang it in his office or something, at work. Get you a little close up. A lot of backstitch on there, a lot of French knots. All those little red things in the border are French knots. I love the colors in this piece. All the greens and then the orange, the yellow and the red and the orange and everything for the flowers, and a little smattering of blue as well. So this was a fun project. It took all in all about 2 weeks to stitch. 10 days or so, I don't know. A little bit longer than I thought it might. There's a lot more stitching on the bottom half than there is on the top half with the flowers and everything. And there's a good number of colors in there. About 4 red colors and 4 yellow-orange colors. And yeah. Yeah, it was fun though. And then the other thing I took to the retreat and worked on a lot was my I Am a Stitcher piece. This is the one I shopped for at Creative Stitches. And I found this apple green color that I stitched. A talent no one can take from me. So this is stitched on 36 count Edinburgh Haven colorway. Picture this plus. Love this. Perfect sky blue. It's actually coming out pretty true to life, as I can see in my monitor here. It's just like a really pretty variegated light sky blue. So this line I'm stitching here, which it's coming out darker than it is in real life. It's like a pretty, like, almost navy, sapphire kind of blue. I think it's hand-dyed silk by Carrie's Creation Silk Floss. Sorry, not hand-dyed. Carrie's Creation Silk Floss. It is hand-dyed, but it's in the sapphire colorway. And it's almost done, so I was just going to say I am a stitcher. And then I have to do a little bit more of this background pattern, which I'm doing in the sandstone with water lily. It's like a flower pattern. And then I think I'm going to backstitch a little bit on the gold, maybe use a gold metallic, a connection to the past. So it says, my need to be creative to see the design come to life, watch colors unfold on linen, never a day complete without needle and thread, a connection to the past, a gift to the future, a talent no one can take from me. I am a stitcher, or at least that's what it will say. So I am planning, it is a goal for this month, and I think I might, I have a stitchy meetup at the library tomorrow. Oh my gosh, tomorrow's Saturday. Yeah. So I'm going to take it with me and hopefully finish it there. And that will be nice. This piece is, I mean, it's not small. If you were stitching it on 32 count or 28, you would need a fat quarter. So I got it onto a fat eighth, but that's why I went down to 36. And as charted, it only involves 4 colors. None of them were really to my taste, so I picked my own colors and decided to go for a different color for each line because I'm a glutton for punishment. I love how it's looking. I mean, it's almost done now. I'm very pleased with it. Nice rainbow effect. I'm going to put a nice silver frame on it and hang it over my stitchy spot when I'm done. So that would be cool. And then the last project I have to show you, but don't fret, I've got lots of other stuff to show you, like fall and all that. And I'm also going to share my Halloween pattern stash, individual patterns. So here's Titania. Excuse me while I clean her up a bit. It's got a ton of stuff parked on her now. So what I did since last time is I worked on the, I can't remember what it looked like last time I showed it to you. Well, I worked on the wings mostly, so close up, there's silver blending filament cross-stitched, 1 strand, sort of the filler in here. And then the pink, that's Kranich number 4 braid. There's more of it down here. And over here, she's a very sparkly lady between all the metallic fibers and the fabric. This is stitched on 32 count opal Lugana and the ametrine colorway by Vintage Silk Weaver. Pretty sort of peach color. And this wing over here is pretty much done except for the top bit. I had to frog. So it goes up a bit more in the corner there, but I had to frog it. It's not that much stitching. I could probably fix it in like an hour or something, or maybe less. And then I started working on the wing over here. On the bottom, I just started with 2 colors, the B5200 and the gold 676. The 676 is used for the full cross and then also for half cross. I don't know if you can tell over here on this wing, like the inner part, that's all half cross. She's coming along. I am hoping to finish her next month. Didn't make as much progress as I wanted to her this month, but you know, that's the breaks. What can you do when you're sick, you know? So yeah, I did work on her a little bit at the retreat, but it was just like this business in here, the blending filament. That was just so slow because it splits and it shreds, and I had to use very short lengths and be very gentle with it. I know Danielle, nice to Teresa, she commented on my last video and told me that she used Petite Treasure braid for this part, and if I could do it over again, I would just buy the Petite Treasure braid. But, you know, I bought the Kranich blending filament, and it's coming out pretty, so I'm going to use it, finish using it. At least half of it's done, so. There's Titania. I started her. She was my New Year, New Start, and I'm pretty determined to finish her this year. I really want to have a New Year, New Start, you know, in January for Mira, and if Titania's not done, it's not going to happen. So I don't want like 2 big size Miras. Well, ladies, I'm planning to start Enchanted Mermaid next month in November for Merv Ember. And she's pretty big, but at least she's a mermaid. She's not like a lady fairy type thing. So in January, I may start Stargazer. or Portrait of Veronica, depending on how I'm feeling. Alright, so that's Titania. And now do you want to get into my haul or stash? Let's do stash first. So, you know, I've been making Flosstube videos for a while now, and I've never really shared my my pattern stash. So I'm going to share a bit of it today. This is my Halloween / autumn stash, and I do have some fabrics that I'm going to show along with it. So here is Gigi. I have actually stitched this. I did her as a blonde, as Fleur de la Fleur. And this is Eva. These are Nora Corbett's Bewitching Pixies. Raven. So I'm thinking I'm going to do these two together. This way. So this one is going to be over, I guess. And I'm probably going to move the moon up. The moon that's on this one. So that's more like central between the two characters. And I'm going to stitch them probably on like a dark blue fabric. And then here's Anna. I am planning to stitch her on the same fabric that I used for Gigi, which is, I'll just insert a pic. So it'll be facing. I think I'm going to convert her, make her like a Harry Potter character or something. So yeah, I was actually thinking about starting her this year, but I wasn't sure whether to start this one or Trick or Treat Fairy, and I put it on my blog, and everybody who commented was like Trick or Treat Fairy, so that's what I did. And then this one is Emmy and Cleo. So I am planning to do these two together. They're going to be back to back, like hunting partners. You know, one of them has the bow and the arrow, the other is a bird. How perfect is that? And I did get this fabric. This is the one. This is Enchanted Glen by Leslie at Under the Sea Fabrics. And I think that will work nicely. Kind of a spooky forest kind of look. Yeah. Very cool. So I have to finish my Gigi Anna pairing first though. Alright, sorry for the crinkle. This is Spooky House by X's and O's, Sandra Parlow. I love this so much. I've wanted to stitch it forever. I have this pretty fabric for it. This is Thunderstorm by Silk Weaver. It's kind of like a grayish with purple. I think it'll be perfect for this. I am planning to start it in January, and this is 32 Belfast. I just think this is so cool. Look at all the detail on that. See how there's like a face in the tree? Over there. It's a woman tree. The bats. The little spider and the silhouette in the window there. Gravestones in the yard. Very cool piece. And then that huge moon, which is like Kreinik glow-in-the-dark grapefruit, 10 to 12 spools of it. Yeah, I don't know about that. I might see about using glow-in-the-dark petite treasure braid instead. I think there is a glow-in-the-dark petite treasure braid, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. 10 to 12 spools is an awful lot. And then here's something by Stony Creek, Fright Night Friends. It's a bell pull. It says H, Fright This Way. A, with a ghost. L, welcome to our patch with pumpkins and a black cat. O, with a witch. W, best witches. E, come in and sit a spell with a witch. E, trick or tweet with the crow. It's all about the candy. Frankenstein trick-or-treating, and then the N in the bottom there, E-N. So I really like that. I'll stitch it on gray most likely. And then this is Grim, Glum, and Gloom on Halloween. I like this, but I think the way that it's matted kind of makes it. I don't know. I might see if I can track down the mat before I actually start this piece. It is really nice though. It's got like a graveyard and a little haunted house in the background and a moon with spooky clouds and a nice tree with a face in it and jack-o'-lanterns. And these two are by Judith M. Kirby, Victorian House, number 15 and 9, the Halloween houses. These are really pretty. I'll do them together on gray most likely. I like using gray, especially for Halloween stuff. Okay, this one is Vinny by Glendon Place, Vinny the Vamp. I love that. And I definitely won't stitch this on gray. I love the fabric that's stitched on. Sort of a lime green. That's really cool. This one is by Sue Hillis. Happy Halloween. I love that so much. Halloween Memories. It's really a cute, not too scary. I might actually start this one next year. You know, when my son is little. Sorry, drop frame. So this one is Trick or Treat by the Victoria Sampler. Lots of detail in there, over one stitching. Little hardanger at the bottom. This one, it calls for an accessory pack. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that. I'll probably just try to convert it to like DMC or something. I don't really see a whole lot of variegation in here. Maybe for some of the specialty stitches, I'll probably get a few of the silks and then just do the rest of it with DMC. And does it have a button pack? I'm not sure. Charms and beads. I don't know. I'll have to look into it more. But since I did the hardanger orney, I don't feel quite so intimidated by this anymore. And maybe I'll actually start it next year. It's not that huge. It's like 40 wide by 233 tall. It was stitched on 28 count dirty linen cashel. So, yeah, maybe. I'm planning to make next year my Halloween year. I feel like this year just so much Christmas, and part of it's because I have my Christmas village going on, and that's going to continue. But I love stitching Christmas, but I think next year I want to stitch more Halloween. So here's another one by Glendon Place, Frankie the Thinker. Love that. That was stitched on 28 count Okefenokee. I probably butchered that, sorry. Linen by the Crosswing Collection. Really cool fabric. I like that a lot. It might look good on Murky if I picture this plus. I don't know. We'll see. And then here's a couple Lizzie Kates from the Boo Club. Eek, Pumpkin, Fright, Creepy. I do have the rest of them around somewhere, but these are just what I could put my hands on. So the whole piece looks like this. Spooky Treats, Black Cat, Spiders, Eek, Creepy, Pumpkin, Fright, Brew, Monster, Ghost, Halloween. And I've stitched two of these like long skinny word pieces by Lizzie Kate. Sorry, not too articulate today. I've done the Living with Charm series and the Merry Christmas by the Letter, so this is kind of similar. I'll have to find some cute charms for it, because Living with Charm came with charms, obviously, and the Christmas one came with buttons, but I wanted to do charms, so I found my own charms, and I love the charms, so I'll have to see if I can find some cute little Halloween charms for this one. Alright, moving on. Here is Praiseworthy Stitches, Darkwing Manor, Cool Haunted House, Bats in the Belfry. I like that a lot. That was stitched on, well, I don't know, it doesn't say on the back, sorry. But very cool sort of gray fabric. And I like that. It's really big though. 345 by 249. Maybe one day. Probably not next year. This one is Horn of Plenty. This is by, well, it's Horn of Hope. It's from a Just Cross Stitch magazine. I like that a lot. This isn't really, you know, Halloween. It's more like general fall. I think that's just beautiful. I think Katie the Stash Queen might be stitching this. I'm pretty sure I was originally enabled by her. Weren't we all? Okay, this one is Eerie Express by London Place, and it calls for Nocturne, Picture This Plus, which I actually have right here. I did buy some for it. This is 28 count casual, back order, and this piece is 14 by 3 1/4. Wondering if I can get more than just this on this back order. Maybe if I trim it a little bit, I can do a small piece or an ornament or something. So it doesn't, the color of the fabric in real life doesn't really look like the picture. In the picture, the color is much brighter, but I think it'll work anyway. So that's fine. This is a really cool pattern with a lot of detail. The witch, the ghoul, the black cat, the pumpkins, the luggage, the front of the train has a face. The moon has a face. The smoke coming out of the train are ghosts. There's a coffin in the back there. Lots of cool things. I might start this next year. I think my son would love it. He likes trains. So here is the Celtic Autumn, which I stitched with a color conversion. If you do want to stitch this one, I highly recommend the color conversion by Little Cat. The oranges and the greens and the purples is just beautiful. I mean, this is nice too, but the colors in the conversion are more autumny, if you ask me. Okay, here's another fabric I can show you. This is Haunted by Picture This Plus. It's kind of like a greenish, grayish. It actually looks less green here than it is in real life. That's pretty good, maybe. Yeah. This one, I don't know if I'm going to use it for a Halloween piece. Since it's more green than anything else, I might actually use it for Christmas, but it is a pretty fabric. It's definitely not what's advertised, though, on their website. It is not gray with blue at all, by any stretch of the imagination. It is shades of green. It's pretty, just, you know, it's not gray with blue. Okay, so this is the Stony Creek Collection Ghostly Treats. There's a number of patterns in here. Turn around. Welcome with the apprentice needed. That's really cute. Must have own broom. Trick or treat with the scarecrow. This lovely witch. Ghostly greetings. Trick or treat. The witch is actually why the reason I purchased this. I love her. I saw her a long time ago, stitched on the blog of Melissa Doodlehead. I'm not sure if she's still blogging or if she watches Flosstube, but on the off chance she's watching this, hi Melissa, thanks for inspiring me. So this is just a really pretty pattern, and I do have this fabric that I intend to stitch around. I think this is the one I bought for it. This is Abracadabra by Vintage Silk Weaver. Nice purple. I think this is the one I have earmarked for it. I can't say for sure. I'd have to check my stitching spreadsheet, but in any case, I think this would work. You just need something that's kind of dark enough that the moon will pop, and I don't know. This I have to do a floss toss because I don't want the purple tones to blend in. So we will see. I have another one in my stash. I didn't bring it up. Sorry. Oh well. Maybe I'll start this next year. I don't know. It kind of depends. Let's see how big she is. Harvest Witch is the name of the pattern. It's 144 by 157. It's not too big. It says model was stitched on spooky casual linen specialty fabric by which manufacturer? This is a pretty old pattern. It's copyright 2004, so yeah, I don't know if that fabric is still available or not. Yeah, come to think of it, I have this darker sort of purple in my stash. I think might work better for this. But I will show it to you when and if I start the project. And then this one is Harvest Light. It's by Imaginating. I love that. I just think it's so pretty. This one isn't too big. It's like 104 by 130. And I would just stitch this on a plain Jane kind of fabric. Let's see, what was this stitched on? Natural Aida. I wouldn't use Aida, but I would probably just do a even weave or something. Maybe yeah, coffee dye, Monaco or something like that. Yeah, I really like that a lot. I love the scroll work, the birds, the pumpkins. Very cool. The lantern, the border. This one is Autumn by the Cricket Collection. I actually own all 4 of the seasonal ones plus the Christmas one. So I do need to stitch them. I have a place in my house that I want to hang them, like over a door. The only thing is I don't have fabric, and they're like long, skinny pieces. 258 by 64 stitches. So on 32, that's like 16 wide by 4 tall. So if you buy like a fat quarter or something, you're only going to use a little bit of it. I think what I'm going to do is just buy like a plain piece of fabric and then cut it up into appropriate sizes, zigzag the edges, and dye it myself. A couple bottles of RIT costs a lot less than buying, 4 different fabrics. Okay, this one is Lavender Wings Witch's Dance. I think this is like a vintage postcard that was recharted for cross stitch. It says, "Greetings on Halloween. The time has come for the witch's dance, and the spooks from far and near will gather and make merry, for Halloween is here." This one it's small, 82 by 119 stitches. 5 1/8 by 7 3/8 on 32 count. Now that one is really pretty. Maybe one of these days I'll give it a start. I think it is full coverage. Yeah, it's full coverage. Maybe I'll start it next year for the full coverage fanatics group. Yeah, this is small, but it is full coverage. So. All right, this one is The Halloween Branch by Bent Creek. Sorry for all the plastic. When the owl and the witch together are seen, there's mischief brewing on Halloween. So this is in several parts with little buttons and stuff. I was actually considering using my this fabric for it, the Midas Touch, but obviously that's not going to happen since I'm stitching the fairy on it, so yeah, I don't know, I had to figure out something else for that. This one is more like general fall, Thanksgiving. This is Bobby G, Giving Thanks. I think that's really pretty, very detailed. Cornucopia. Here is Glendon Place Sleepy Hollow. So this was stitched on Haunted. Cashel, 2009. I think what happened is Picture This Plus may have changed their dye formula somewhere along the way, because at the Mirabilia retreat in 2015, I saw Stargazer stitched on Haunted Belfast, and it was absolutely perfect. It was like this beautiful blue-gray, and the fabric that I ordered later that year is definitely not. So I think they must have changed their dye formula or something. But this one, I mean, the Haunted might work for it, because it is, you could have a green background for this. Why not, So it says, in a grave lies the horseman, his head is at his side, be brave enough to take it, and again by night he will ride. I love that. This one I've actually stitched, Toil and Trouble by Erica Michaels, and I intend to frame it for this year, so I better get on that. I wanted to do it that last week in September, but I just ran out of time with all the retreat prep and everything. So yeah, before Halloween, for sure. I am going to double mat it and stuff. So this one, Halloween Happiness by Imaginating. I've actually stitched this one. I did frame it. I showed you on video number, I will put it up above. This one is all ready to go to be hung on the wall and everything, so that's cool. Very fun project. And then I see from the stack of patterns I grabbed from my box, I also got this one. This one isn't Halloween, but I brought it up, so I may as well show you. This is Noah's Sub by Stony Creek. Original artwork by Stuart Moskowitz. That's a pretty cool pattern. It is like 8 pages. Full coverage, although some of it's half cross. I don't know if I want to stitch it like full coverage like it is. I might get a hand-dyed fabric so I could, skip the sky or something, but I don't know. Maybe I'll do it full coverage. I think it's a very cool piece. Alright, so that's it for my Halloween pattern stash. I do have like more patterns from magazines, but I'm not going to get into that. And now we can get into the stuff that I've got recently, like at the retreat. So here's something I got off eBay. This is Dimensions Gold Memory Lane. It's just the pattern. I actually got it quite a while ago, but I had to air it out for a while in my garage because it stinks like cigarette smoke, unfortunately. But it's fine now. So this is, looks like a little village in England or something. Designed by Carl Valente. Yeah. Very cool piece. Kind of reminds me of Lake Oak Village, perhaps. I don't know. Not sure what it's based on. So I don't have, it was just the pattern. So I'll have to kit it up myself, which is fine with me. I'd rather do that anyway. And here is something I got at, I think I got this at Creative Stitches in Dallas. This is Castle Le Creep by Glendon Place. How cool is that? Look at the detail over here, the little like claws climbing out of the moat, and the ogre over there, the little skulls on the ramparts, the monster in the moat, there's his face right there, the spider under the portcullis, spooky tree over here, the moon, the bats. I love this piece. And my son is a big fan as well, so I may actually start this rather than later. And I did buy a piece of fabric for it at the shop. This is 32 count Thunderstorm by Silkweaver. And it looks nothing like the Thunderstorm I have for my old Fabric of the Month stash. This is much darker, more purple, but it's cool. I think it'll work for this piece nicely. maybe I'll start it next year, depending on how far I get with Spooky House. I don't really know how long Spooky House is going to take to stitch. Alright, here is something I got at the retreat off the stash unload table. This is Santa of the Forest by Lavender and Lace. I think that's really pretty. I like what it represents. It has to do with like different nations of the world. The animals represent like different nations and stuff, so Santa bringing them all together. Very cool piece. This one I got from the at half price from Fancy Stitches. Passione Ricomo, the Morning Fae. How gorgeous is that? I actually have a fabric I think would be perfect for her. It's like an orangey pink kind of fabric. It's like a sunrise sort of thing. I think that would work nicely. So, I think she's beautiful. I love the tattoo on her leg, and her wings, and her dress. I've never stitched a Passione Ricomo before, but I really want to. This was a gift from my roomie, The Dreamer by Mira. She's really pretty, isn't she? I love how relaxed she looks and the rich colors. Gorgeous pattern. Let's see, here is something I got from, this was on clearance too. Happy Halloween by Elizabeth Needlework Designs. I don't know if I'll stitch this or just give it away, but I thought it was a really cute piece. This one was from Creative Stitches, I think. This is Christian Symbols, Designing Women Unlimited. So they're all done with like metallic braids and beads and everything. Really sparkly. I thought this book would be nice if I ever get back into my monthly ornament thing. On the back there's a picture of a tree with, yeah. And then I got this one at Fancy Stitches. This is Christmas Ornaments 2017 JCS Special Issue. I'm not going to do a flip through of this. Danielle Stitcherista did a really good flip through. So this one is my favorite. When you stop believing in Santa, you get underwear. I thought that's really funny. It's by Glendon Place. There's a lot of nice patterns in here, so I recommend it. And then this one I got at Fancy Stitches from the clearance section. This is Tour de Marque by The Silver Lining. Chateau Chenonceau from the Loire Valley. I think that's so pretty. Never been to the Loire Valley. On my bucket list though. I've been to Paris, I've been to the south of France, I've never been to the Loire Valley, so one of these days. And then this one, this was on clearance too. This is a just cross stitch. I got it primarily for the Joan Elliott pattern, which is, let's see, page 20. This one, I'll show you the chart. Here we go. Winter's Grace. I thought she was lovely. I don't know if I'd stitch her. I just have so many like Joan Elliott patterns that are in my queue, so to speak. But I thought this would be a nice giveaway item. And then, excuse me. Here we go. I found this at Fancy Stitches. This is a Mill Hill Kit Winter Holiday Collection Holiday Boot. I believe this is a new one. And I thought it would be the perfect little souvenir for my first visit to Texas. So that would be fun to stitch. Maybe I'll actually do it this year, depending on how I do with my BAPs between now and then. And then, let's see. I received some lovely needle minders. This one is from Diana. It is Kismet. Hi Diana, if you're watching. I missed my little boy quite a bit during my trip to Texas. This looks so much like him, like when he was a bit smaller, when he was more of a baby. He's like toddler, big boy now. So I parked this on my fabric and I looked at him and I thought about him. These two are from Kate, the Queen of Starts. There's two here, the waterfall and the, actually it's upside down, sorry. Okay. Yeah, so the waterfall and Flosstube Retreat 2017. Those are really cool. I love how smooth and shiny they are. And this was from Angela. They're scroll rod covers. Yeah. Cool, huh? Like them a lot. I have to give them a try. I stitch in the ditch, so I don't fuss too much about the, the fabric on the scroll because it's the back of the fabric that's on the outside of the scroll. But, I'm using the long frame adapter, so I put the metal clamp on there, so maybe it would help. And then this was from Kate, the Queen of Starts too. It's like a little word collector. Isn't that cute? I used it a lot when I was at the retreat. And let's see. Here are some fibers. This is Splendor Silk by Rainbow Gallery in the S1105 colorway. This is what I used on my piece. This one here. That lighter green is that. Yeah. And then I got this, which is just 9mo beading thread. And I saw this on the stash unload table. It's a Kryonic color chart. I think colors that are available. Yeah. That was nice. I think I may have gotten to the end of my haul now. It's kind of a lot, yeah. But, some of it was gifts and it was cool. And wow, I really do have a mess in front of me now. So, something else I've gotten recently I wanted to show you is this sewing pattern, dinosaur. So, my son picked it out. He wants to be a dinosaur for Halloween, so I'm going to be working on that this weekend and next week. I want to have it ready for the 21st because we have a neighborhood Halloween parade at that point. So, yeah. It's view B I'm going to do, but I'm not doing the wings. So, yeah, couldn't be bothered. So, let's talk a little bit about plans. So, tomorrow is my stitching meetup at the Fairfax City Library. Looking forward to that. And I am definitely going to bring this piece. Try to finish it. I'll probably bring something else as well. I mean, I'm definitely going to bring something else as well. This won't take me long to finish. I just have to stitch M-A stitcher. Yeah. That would only take like an hour maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure how long it would take. But I could definitely finish it tomorrow. And do a little back stitching. Clean it up a little. The other, one of my goals, another one of my goals for the month of October was to finish Remember, and I did manage to do that. So this one is also a finished goal. I also wanted to work on King Arthur's Court. Give that like a good amount of time since I didn't work on it all last month. So I'll tell you what I have in mind for the rest of the month. So I'm going to start my Mill Hill, a new piece on my Mill Hill Village through the woods. I'll insert a pick. That'll be fun. Give that 3 days. I'll work on Winnie the Pooh, 2 days, insert a pick. Fall Fairy, maybe. Maybe, depending. King Arthur, 7 days. Maiden and the Unicorn, 3 days. No, I guess that's it for all my stitching. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everyone who comments and leaves a thumbs up. I do have a little bit of knitting to show you. So this is my Shakespeare in Love piece. This is the back. So I've been working on this for a while. Not a whole lot. I do like 6 rows per day, and you know, it adds up over time. You can see I did the armhole shaping, and I'm almost to the point where I can do the shoulder shaping. I think I might need like another inch or so. I'm going to measure it probably like tomorrow or something. I'll probably take this to the meetup as well. So this is stitched in Valley, Northampton. Tons of cables. The color, that's pretty true right there. It's a really pretty like dark denim color. Sometimes when I photograph it, it comes out looking gray, but it's not gray at all. It's just like a pretty dark blue. Tons of cables. I prefer to cable without a cable needle because it's so much faster, but for this project I just have to use a cable needle because these cables in the center portion here involve 9 stitches. They're like 5/4 or 4/5, and I just can't do that many without a cable needle without it getting all messed up. So yeah, I use a cable needle for that. I can't wait to finish this piece and actually wear it. It's such a involved piece. I mean, there's 3 cable charts going on here. You can see the side pattern there, so it's almost kind of like a tree growing. And then in the middle you got like the basket weave, and then on the other side you have the mirror image of the one on the right. So. And then the seed stitch on the edges. And the ribbing at the bottom. It's actually done with short rows, so it's lower in the middle. It's kind of hard to tell here just because you'll be able to tell more once I sew it up and actually wear it. So this piece is a lot of work. It's a nice thing to work on though. It's a nice challenge and everything. So, hoping to get it finished by like, let's say, November. So this is actually the last piece. I've done the front, both sleeves. I have to join them and knit the turtleneck. It's got like a high collar kind of thing going on, so that will be fun. And then just set in the sleeves and sew up the side seams and lock it. And then I can start a new knitting project. I want to do a white sweater for Christmas. It's a really simple pattern. It's called Coraline by Isolde Teague. I will insert a pic. It's mainly just like stockinette, but it has like some smocking on the yoke. So, all right, I guess that's it. Oh my gosh, it's 11:40. This is a long video. I'm gonna need to go pick up my son pretty soon. So, all right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everyone who comments and leaves a thumbs up. Thank you to everyone who made the Flosstube retreat so wonderful, such a special time. I'm really looking forward to attending another Flosstube retreat if there's one scheduled. As for general retreats, though, I think my next one will be the Mirabilia retreat in May in Austin. Really want to go back to Texas. I just had a really fun time there, and I feel like I didn't have enough time in Austin. I only really had like 2 days there, you know, not even 2 full days because I left pretty early on Sunday and arrived late in the afternoon on Friday, and it seems like a really cool place, and I want to explore it more. So yeah, that's on the agenda. All right, I guess that's pretty much it, and I will see you guys probably around the end of October. I'll try to do it that way. So we'll try to go back to like a 2 per month schedule. Ta-ta!